Okay, you made it through Unit 1, so here we are at Unit 2. And Unit 2 is a literary analysis. Now, what are you going to learn here? You're going to learn the academic voice and tone, business voice and tone. We're just going to keep on working on that. Really, that's our goal here. And then grammar mechanics, of course, and then the basics of MLA documentation. And when will you use this? Of course, writing in college and writing for your profession, and anytime you need to read between the lines. So it's easy to think, well, hey, that's a literature. We're reading a story and we're writing about literature. This is stuff you just do for English teachers. Not really. Okay, yeah, with writing about a story, it is. That's totally like English teacher domain. But the thing is being able to read between the lines, being able to look at the story and say there's something deeper there, and here's what I think about it, and explain why and back that up. That's critical thinking. That's college stuff. That is professional stuff. Professionals need to do more than just know stuff. Be able to read the story and say, here's the facts of what happened. A smart fifth grader can do that. That smart fifth grader can learn almost everything that you're going to study in your profession, but what they can't learn is the critical thinking, right? Brains aren't developed enough. Yours is developed enough. And so it's that deep critical thinking comes with practice. Now, is there part of me as a compositionalist, a grammarian, a rhetorician that and I love stories, okay, but I didn't get a degree in lit because sometimes I'm like, dude, a bridge is just a bridge. It doesn't have to mean they did this, or building a wall is just a wall. Oh my God, yeah, there's a whole part of me that's it. But there's another part of me that understands that analytical, critical thinking comes from having that mental flexibility to do that. Yeah, there is. And there are other people that see it that way too. And it's called a soft skill. And being able to bring that ability to look between the lines and read deeper is definitely something that you want to develop for yourself as a thinker, and especially a thinker who wants to go into a professional field. Because if you just know everything there is to know about nursing, but you don't know how to apply it, you're not going to be a good nurse. Same goes for computer programmer, IT professional, teacher, whatever it is you want to go out and be when you grow up, and let me know because I'm still looking for ideas. So all of those things. So I want you to think wider than just this is for English class. I want you to think about anytime you have to write about an article in your class, an essay. I mean, whether you're writing about something that's fiction, what we're doing, where this is a made-up story just made to entertain, or you're writing about an article, something that's in your field, you're still looking at and doing more than just telling your teacher, here's what it says. They know, they read it, right? They want you to say, so what? And that's the dig deeper part. So we have a number of assignments for this, and this is how it works. So we'll do a discussion that's a practice, and so it's another one of those assignments. You do it thoughtfully. Do some proofreading. I mean, we are posting on a discussion board where everybody else can read it. So, proofread and be thoughtful there. But do that, and you're good to go. 100. Yay, right? We're going to do a couple of pre-writings. And pre-writings are just, in order to write, guess what? You have to write. Wherever you go, there you are. Right? It's that like kind of Kona, Zen wisdom, right? You have to, it's like so simple. It's one of those things. But it's easy to write and not write. Because like I'll walk around and I'll think about the ideas, and I'll be like, oh, let me read a little and do a little research, and oh, let me think about it, let me talk to somebody about it. At some point you just got to put pen to paper, fingers to keyboard, whatever it is, talk to text. Oh my God, it all works, right? You got to write at some point. And so just getting those ideas out and putting them in words is a good thing, because once you do that, then you can say, hey, I like that. That's a great idea. Or, oh my God, what was I thinking? No, not that. This other thing, right? And it's only then we can make decisions about good or bad. And that's why the pre-writings, I do not grade your grammar. Okay, you're turning those in just to me, so everybody else isn't seeing them. Okay, there I don't grade your grammar. I'm not grading your spelling. I'm not grading anything. I'm grading, did you follow instructions and were you thoughtful? Did you just get those ideas out? And that's it. Because once you do that, then you can look at them and say, yes, I like that. Oh, wait, I can go further. Why didn't I mention this? Or what was I thinking? No, let's go to the next idea. So it's just really part of the process as a whole. Um, and so we're going to do the pre-writing. So do those. They're cake grade as long as you do them thoughtfully and completely and turn them in on time. They're 100s. All right. The next two things, same thing. Thoughtfully, completely turn them in on time. They're 100s as long as you don't slack. I mean, don't no lame stuff. Okay, none of that. And with the drafts, you're going to do your best. You turn it in, then that's when I really do teaching. I mean, this is fun, you know. If I was in the classroom, it's fun too. That's when I actually have to work for my money. So make me work for my money. That's when, like I said, with the Unit 1 introduction, that's when I'm actually giving you real instruction, right? I mean, this is instruction. Everything else I've given you, yes, it's instruction, but the actual instruction in the skill of writing, that only comes when somebody says, yeah, this is good, excellent, keep doing this. Well, this, hey, let me give you some suggestions. Or, wait, read more. Remember when we talked about commas and this and that, right? Whatever it was. So that's when I'll go through your drafts and I'll give you feedback. It won't happen overnight. I've got everybody's plus all my other classes plus the college thinks I should do other stuff too. Plus, I think I should like keep the laundry clean. I don't know, crazy, right? Y'all know what it's like, man. You got lives. So you'll turn in your drafts, and I'll give you feedback on them. You turn them in; they're thoughtful. You know, I mean, yeah, I get it if it's not like maybe you don't have like totally exactly as much as you have to, but do your best. Don't give me like just one paragraph, especially when we've done pre-writings that get more out of you than that. Okay. So I'll do feedback. We'll do a post literary analysis discussion, and then I'll get those back to you. We'll have moved on to the next unit, but I'll get back your drafts back to you, and you'll be able to read those, ask me questions about my comments, go to the writing center, whatever, and then you'll turn in the final, and that's when it'll get graded. So basically, I'm like giving you the instruction, teaching you, and then the grade. And I think that's a really good thing. Now you're turning in your cover letter, and okay, in a cover letter, you may be asked to do them with other classes where you've worked on a big project and you have a letter and you're basically just saying to your teacher, here's what's here, here's what my experience was. If it's in school, they'll tell you, talk about this stuff. You know, for our cover letter assignment, I definitely tell you, talk about this stuff. Okay. Um, and in work, you do that too. It may be an email, it may be a letter. If you have a big project, it's often to come with this, you know, here's all this stuff we did. We've been working on this for the last year, and you know, what should people do with it, right? Do you want to hear back from them? Are they supposed to use this training manual? Whatever it is. So that cover letter is something that applies both in academics and also on the professional level. So that's the way, and that's the way we roll for the next essay. We'll basically do some kind of practicing. We do the pre-writings, a little bit of writing, and then you turn in drafts. I give you that feedback, and we do some discussion, and we're good to go. One thing I do want to say, oh, well, here, let me move over here and show you what we got. Under the Unit 2, just click on the drop down, and we have all of our stuff to turn in. The only stuff that aren't here are the quizzes, okay? And then on the 1301 page, the literary analysis page for English 1301, there's the assignment itself, and of course, the assignment and the videos to the pre-writings are, of course, in your schedule. But if you want quick access to go back and review them, and then there's also the stories we're reading, the questions to consider, and all of those are, of course, in your schedule. And then the sample essays. I have 3 different forms here, so if you want to look at the video where I go through and I explain here's how this works, and please pay attention to those because that's me really instructing you on the skill of this kind of writing. And then the paragraph breakdowns just visually help you see the parts. And then if you want to see it in a nice typed up academic format, it should look like, then that's there. This is a link to me writing this essay. So if you just can't get enough of my lilting voice, you can spend 50 minutes listening and watching me write an essay. I know you're like, oh my God, my life is going to be complete. That's just what I needed. if you do want to watch or some part, but I mean, I go from choosing the question to all the way through doing the works cited at the end. Okay, so I just thought when I started doing it, I barely started, and I thought, you know what, record this, put it on YouTube. What the heck? And that's what, and I literally, it was a what the heck. There's a link to the perfect match and the questions, what we'll be reading, and a sample cover letter. And the perfect match is by Ken Liu, and I just can't recommend enough. This is The Paper Menagerie, the first and other stories. The first book story I read by him, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's like heartbreakingly beautiful. But if you kind of like the stuff we read throughout this unit, which is kind of near, it's futuristic. There's one where it's in space, but it's, I mean, it has to do with social media, with computers, with, how much are we being watched and listened to. And I mean, you're watching this on a device, I'm recording it on a device, I got my phone there. I mean, you know, we're at a point in society with devices and social media and all that where we are making decisions about how much in our world, all this stuff plays a role, and privacy and issues like that. So the stories we're reading are stories we read because I find them interesting. I realized some years ago that, I mean, Shakespeare's great, and I have, man, due respect to the master. But do I go home? Are most of these books Shakespeare? No, most of them are Ken Liu, and oh, I think you can see the Harry Potters back there, and you might even spy the Twilights. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Sorry about that. But no, there's a whole lot of sci-fi and zombie apocalypse fiction back there. I read the fun stuff. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the stories and know that you don't have to. It's okay if you don't like them. It's okay if you're like, oh my God, that sucked like crazy. That's fine. All right. I mean, no, I didn't mean like that's fine. I meant really, it is okay. We all like different things. Okay. But what we're doing, because you're not, this isn't about whether you like it or not. That's immaterial. This is about, okay, read it and like look deeper and think deeper. So it's about developing your critical thinking. So all of those are just convenient there. Again, most of them are on the syllabus, but if you just want to be able to find them quickly. So that's Unit 2 just kind of wrapped up. Let me know if you have questions, and have a great one.